Hi, this is Pat Johnson, your sociology instructor. In this mini lecture, we're going to talk about a type of research called ethnography, and then a subset of ethnography called participant observation. So first of all, what is ethnography? Ethnography is qualitative research. If you remember, we talked about qualitative and quantitative research, with quantitative research being objective and qualitative research being more subjective. Well, ethnography is a type of qualitative research. It's a very subjective research of a particular group of people over a long period of time. This falls into the category of observational research. So think of observational research as a big category of research where the researcher observes people in their natural environment. I did some observational research when I was a student. One piece of observational research that I did was I sat in the basement of the library where the vending machines were at the campus where I was going to school. I knew that one of the vending machines was broken, so I observed people interacting with a broken vending machine, and I wrote down all the behaviors that I observed. I saw things like people hitting the machine, people cursing at the machine, people trying to stick their hand up into the machine to get their snack. I observed people in their natural environment. When someone does an ethnography, though, they're doing a more intense and long-term observation. It's a first-hand study of people using observation, in-depth interviewing, or both. And it's also called field work. So in ethnography, the researcher is spending a long time really getting to know people in their natural environment and understanding that group of people and what they are experiencing. One form of ethnography is called participant observation. So we have observational research, ethnography, and then one form of ethnography is called participant observation. In participant observation, the researcher actually joins in the day-to-day activities of the group they are studying. They are a participant in the group, not just an observer. One of the ethnographies that I read as a student was called Tell Them Who I Am by sociologist Elliot Lebeau. And what Dr. Lebeau did was he volunteered at homeless shelters for women over a long period of time, over years, so that he could really understand what it was like to be a homeless woman in American culture. A participant observation ethnography was done by a journalist by the name of Barbara Ehrenreich. And what Ms. Ehrenreich did in her book Nickel and Dimed was she participated in low-wage jobs in American society. She worked at IHOP, she worked at Merry Maids, and she worked at Walmart as a low-wage worker, proving her hypothesis that it's very hard to get by in America on low-wage jobs. A North Carolina sociology student by the name of Adam Shepard had to read Nickel and Dimed in his sociology class, as did many sociology students. Adam Shepard set out to disprove Barbara Ehrenreich's research, and what Adam Shepard did was he made a dartboard and threw a dart, and wherever that dart landed on a map of the southeastern portion of the United States, he went to the nearest city with $25 and a backpack to prove that people can make it on low-wage jobs and be successful. So these are three different forms of ethnographies. Tell Them Who I Am, Nickel and Dimed, which is a participant observation, and then scratch beginnings, disproving nickel and dime. In your textbook, they give the example of Alice Goffman's book, On the Run, Fugitive Life in American City. Alice Goffman is a sociology professor. She has a PhD in sociology, and she's interesting because she's the daughter of a famous sociologist by the name of Irving Goffman. Here's a picture of the text On the Run by Alice Goffman, and the picture next to it is showing Alice giving a TED Talk. So if you want to know more and don't want to read the book On the Run, you can listen to Alice Goffman's TED Talk about her research. Now, Alice Goffman's work is very interesting, but it also points out some of the problems with all ethnographies. First of all, when someone is writing an ethnography, they're studying a small group of people. It's hard to generalize past the group that is being studied. Also, it takes a long time to gain the confidence of people being studied. Ethnographies do not happen quickly. They often take many years to conduct because the researcher has to gain the trust of the people that he or she is studying. And finally, a problem with this type of research is that the researcher can lose objectivity. If you do an internet search of Alice Goffman and On the Run, you can see some of the controversy of her research. She was criticized by peers that she became too enmeshed in the group that she was studying and lost all objectivity, even to the point of helping the people who were the source of her research do some illegal activities. But it's an interesting ethnography. It shows some of the problems that can be done with participant observation, and it's a relevant topic for our society today. So in this mini lecture, we looked at ethnography as a type of qualitative research, and then a subgroup of ethnology called participant observation.